Heath here from pickinglessons.com. O Christmas Tree. This is a great traditional Christmas carol. We're in the key of G on the banjo. In this arrangement we have two versions. We've got the down the neck and the up the neck. In a moment we're going to take a look at the first version, the down the neck, here in this video. But if you head to pickinglessons.com, you can grab yourself a copy of the complete arrangement. The tablature there in the member section will break down the remainder of the lesson for the second variation. You'll also have play along and backing tracks once you get to know the tune as well. Now, this is a great tune for the intermediate picker. It's a slower tempo. There's some good techniques to work on, mainly melodic, a little bit of Scruggs, and of course we're moving around the neck as well. And we're also in 3/4 time, so not quite as common perhaps as 4/4. Now, we're going to have a look at this first version here, and we're going to kick it off. We are down the neck. We are moving into some melodic territory straight away, and we're moving around quite a bit. The other thing is to keep an eye on the time signature. So we're in 3/4 time, so we only have 6/8 notes to the bar, so different to 4/4. So what we might do with this one is break it down measure by measure, and then we'll tackle the phrase, which is pretty much over the first 4 bars. So this pickup note that we have, we're going to use that 2nd fret there, hammering on that 4th string. So thumb plays that, then we hammer down. We're going to play the open G before we then shift into this slide into the G. So open G, slide from F sharp into the G, but as you land on that G, that 5th fret, you're going to pick the open string with it. So we're reinforcing the melody note there, the G. So as we slide and we place our finger on fret 5, we're picking that open string as well. Into a roll. Forward, backward. Now here we get into our melodic territory up the neck. There's our A before we move on to the B. And we're going to reinforce that B as well. So after the A with our 3rd finger, open B, slide from A into B. As we land on that B in the 4th fret, we're going to pick the open string. Same deal as before. Yeah? Into a roll after that. We're going to keep moving through. We'll come back through this in a moment. Then we're going to reposition our hand. Now this is important. 1st finger on 5th fret there. That's our G. We're going to hammer on into the A. Yeah? And then we'll have a little melodic scale going on. So from the hammer on, and 1, and 2, and. So the hammer on from the G to the A, open B, C, and D. Just straight through that G major scale. 3rd finger's going to jump down to that F sharp there. This is important. F sharp with our 3rd finger. Hold it for the full beat, and then our 1st finger is going to be in that 2nd fret A. Before we close out this phrase, so A, F sharp, slide. As we slide and land on 5th fret, that's the G. We're going to pick the open G with it. Okay. The hammer on there at the end of that 4th bar is the same as our pickup. So we're going to just run through these first 4 bars. This makes up a large portion of the melody here. So we have 16 bars. 12 of those are the same. So we're going to look at these first 4, and then we do get to repeat these another 2 times. So from the pickup on beat 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's have another go. We might just slow it down a fraction. So 1, 2, 3, and 1. So there we have that opening phrase. Now there's a little bit going on, but remember we're a slower tempo. We've only got a couple of positions to play out of at the moment, so that hammer on down the neck, that 4th fret, 2nd fret position, and of course this melodic position we're playing out of too from that melodic G scale. Get familiar with that melody because we do get to repeat that for the next 4 bars. We're going to skip ahead and we're going to play through the 3rd variation essentially, so the 3rd line in the tablature. and we'll kick it off from the pickup note we find in measure 8. So this will lead us into measure 9. Now here, we have that same ending in the phrase, but then we're going to kick it off on the third beat with this open D string and hammer on to the D. Very quick one, it's a grace note hammer on. So that's right on that 3 and. As soon as we pick the second fret, we're straight into the D there, the third fret. Now, measure 9. Just making sure you get that nice strong pull off there, the flick of the string. Now, into measure 10, we have this nice grace note, hammer on again. Changing position. If we can use our first and second fingers there for strength, that's pretty standard. Then the first finger across to the first fret for the C. Open D with your thumb, and then we're going to roll through. Yeah, the A there in that chord. We're building a D7th chord here essentially. And then that will hammer on in the next measure. So measure 10, hammer on, quick grace note. First finger, roll through to the D7. One more time, ready, and. Now, once we build that D7th chord, we get to hold it for a moment. Yeah, picking the A, picking the D, then the grace note, hammer on again. This is just like before. We move on a little bit different there, but after that, hammer on, C. Now this time, open G with a pull off from the C. We're already in position for that, yeah? First finger should have just stayed there. All right, there's that 12th measure to begin with there. Over the G chord. The hammer on is just like the pickup we've been using. The last phrase is the same as the first phrase. Let's just play this third phrase for a moment. From the pickup at the end of measure 8. 1, 2, 3. And through to the next phrase. So take your time, do get to know this, break it down each measure as we have, making sure fingering is all good, watching the rhythm. Remember, we are on 3/4 time, so listen to that pulse as we're playing through, and then of course practice it up and get to know it. But what we're going to do is just run these 16 bars straight through here right now from the top, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Phrase is the same. There's that opening variation all down the neck, using melodic, a little bit of Scruggsiness in there as well. But it's really just a melodic technique that we're using. Now, so do get to know that it is slow. We want to keep it slow. You can play it slower than the demonstration at the beginning of this video. You could probably play a little faster too. One thing to keep an eye on is where those chords change as well. So bear in mind where the chord is placed within the bar, that's where you've got to change. So the first bar is G, 2, 3. Third beat is the D. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A minor, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so the D there is beat 3 and beat 1, and then a G. So keep an eye on where those chords line up. So if you're playing the chord progression along with the tune, those chords are being placed in the correct position. So do get to know that. Now, jump on over to pickinlessons.com. You can grab yourself the full arrangement in the tablature there, but in the member section, we are going to break down the second variation where we jump right up the neck and have a look at a melodic version played up around that 12th fret position. So pickinlessons.com, I'll see you there.